It's Brian Preston, the money guy.
You want to riff for a second? I have a question that you kind of made me think of, only because I'm hearing this with a lot of colleagues. And I imagine a lot of our audience has the same question because we see the website submissions come in. Real estate's done really, really well right now for most folks. A lot of people have seen the value of their homes increase. Even folks that have only been there for a year, 2 years, 3 years, if you're in one of these white hot real estate markets. And so one of the things that I'm hearing people say is, hey, my house has gone up $50,000, $100,000, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Should I sell now, go ahead and capitalize on that, and maybe I'll just sit on the sidelines for a while? Should I sell now, sit on the sidelines, and wait for the housing market to drop, or rent and then do that? What are your thoughts on that? Is that something somebody should consider? What are perhaps the downfalls of somebody thinking they can capitalize on that?
Look, it is a great opportunity. It's nice knowing something that traditionally is considered non-liquid is actually quite liquid right now. Real estate, you can pretty much get it under contract very quickly. But the words that got whispered in my ear, I feel like just mentally kept playing out as you're asking that question is begin with the end in mind. That's right. And the ability to sell your house easily and make a great premium on it is only half the equation because at night, think about the fact your house is providing you shelter. It's where you lay your head at night. It's where probably your spouse and your children are there with the puppy dog and any cats that you have. But you know, if you sell, you still have to have a place to shelter all those people that are part of your family unit. Where is that going to be? And that's why I say you have to begin with the end in mind, because if you sell your awesome house, make lots of money, make multiple six figures, because I see people in my neighborhood, I kid you not, it blows my mind that houses were built 2 years ago that people are making $400,000 and $500,000 above and beyond what they paid.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, so and that might work out great, but here's the question that always comes to my mind.
Where are you going to
live?
Where are you gonna go?
Because this only works if you have the unique arbitrage situation where maybe you're moving from a high cost of living place to a lower cost of living place where you can sell high and then go get a lot of value for your purchase. But if you're staying in the same community, what are you going to do here? Because you're going to, yes, lock in that profit, but you either have to go rent or you have to go buy something. And typically to buy, you're going to end up going bigger and paying more. And that doesn't seem like the greatest situation. And then I always think about the fact of if I sold and then sat on the sidelines, how does that work? Now, I have some clients that are doing that and they're going to watch this, but they're also real estate. I consider them quasi real estate professionals in the way that they've made lots of money through rental properties and other things. So I'm going to defer to them, but it is one of those things I think even they are questioning, hey, what's the timing of this? Because I had no idea that this appreciation or inflationary pressure was going to last as long as it has. And then you're also noticing, because I think a lot of people are waiting for the shoe to drop on interest rates, because they know if interest rates go up on mortgages, there's a chance that will, that will flow down to the housing market. But the federal government has every incentive of keeping interest rates super low because they have so much debt on the balance sheet. It's a weird situation.
It's one of the things, here's one of the ways that I try to curb my psychology, because right now in my neighborhood, their houses go under contract. It's just astronomical prices that don't make any sense. And it's real easy for us to fall into the trap of, if we sold our house, man, we could make this much money over such a short period of time. One way that I curb that, one way about myself, is every year my wife and I, we do a net worth statement where you show what we own, what we owe, and that way we're kind of on the same page. We realize if we're working towards our goals. For my personal use asset, which my house is, I value it at what I paid for it a couple of years ago. So even though right now the market value might say it's way up here, so that I don't get excited and give myself a whole lot of credit for having all this stuff appreciate and feel like I'm oh so wealthy, I value that use asset at the value that I paid for it. So the only way that my house is making my net worth go up each year is as my mortgage payment is going down. That helps my psychology a little bit.
I'm smiling because I'm just visualizing all the comments from everybody telling you you're crazy for doing that in the comments section. Because look, but it is going to help you. I do the same thing. I benchmark that from you. I like it because it lets me, when I do my annual net worth review, it lets me see how much I'm actually building in assets that can work just as hard as I do with my back, my brains, and my hands, which are my investment assets, which, your use assets like your real estate, your primary residence, you have to really sell and downsize to actually turn that into usable money
actual
for your
wealth,
financial life. And that's going to happen naturally. But I think there's a lot of people, they do what I call go-kart math, and you need to go back in our archives to see why I call it go-kart math. But it's one of those things where they daydream with the fact that they have all these extra hundreds of thousands of dollars, but that's the lion's share of their net worth. That's not what you're trying to build. The house that you live in shouldn't be the driver of what's creating your financial independence. It's just that's a kind of a, hey, I got an extra because of my use asset. I actually appreciate it. I want you to have the behavior and the skill set to be a financial mutant where you're building wealth automatically through your monthly savings and investments.
Love it. Love it. Thank you for letting me go on that sidebar.